My name is Shiverus, and I made this video completely because I was hyped. And then I re-recorded it because I thought it was complete cringe. See, once upon a time, a 5-year-old me who was just becoming interested in women and their jiggly bits was watching TV, when this commercial came on in all of its stunning resolution.
On the island of Matanui, an ancient warning of great beasts. Beware, the Rai have come for your masks.
Seeing this form of sensory overload, my child brain was obviously like, what is that? What is this? I need it. That very Christmas, all 6 Toa canisters washed ashore beneath my Christmas tree. I could not leave that gift alone until Christmas Day. When my parental units finally permitted me to eviscerate that packaging in all its glory, the first 2 things I saw were Onua's beautiful green eyes and Pohatu's humongous feet. And then the rest of them sort of came tumbling out because I ripped the package open dead center. By this point, I'd already collected all the Tohunga sets from the McDonald's Happy Meals and was super hyped for the big guys. And from there began the literal rest of my childhood. These bits of injection molded plastic were like crack cocaine to 5-year-old me. I have diagnosed ADHD, and despite the simplistic nature of this box art, it captivated me for quite a while even after I'd opened the toy. I'd actually compare it to Shadow of the Colossus in just that there's a lot of space here for your eye to wander around and get lost in. It's empty space, but it's also interesting space. And after that, we had the same bad guy twice, and then we got the Rakshi, which brought knees into the equation. This was revolutionary back in the day, despite the fact that knees were nothing new when it came to action figures. It was important to me, and when I wrenched open Turok's canister, I found this adorable little promotional disc inside, and I was like, what is this? And I slapped it inside my dad's computer. There was probably about 5 minutes of content on it, but I watched it for well over 2 hours. And then the movie came out, and I remember being very uncomfortable with the fact that they talk for some reason. It was like, Bionicles don't talk, and they never talk in the commercials. Why would they talk in the movie? And then I actually saw the movie, and you know, I don't care what anybody says, this movie still holds up pretty well. I don't care if people think it's a copy of Lord of the Rings, it's not. Honestly, I could just continue to gush and gush about Bionicle and how amazing it is and how it's the best franchise ever, but that's not really why I put together this video. No, I put together this video in utter reverence of the amazing community that has remained despite this franchise's cancellation. So yeah, this is essentially going to be me talking about some really cool things I've seen in the community, and a few wholesome things that kind of pushed me to make this video. Now, it didn't take any of us very long at all before we started ripping these characters apart to build our own eldritch abominations and OCs. And then you could be like Todd Howard in your room, be you and your little dudes, and you look all the way up to like your bunk bed or something and be like, I can climb all the way to the top of that. And if you were a dumb kid like me, you could like take him into the shower and start like playing out a fight in the rain. Your imagination could go absolutely wild with these guys. And as the number of parts we had access to only grew and grew over the years, so too did some of the ingenious things that we could do with them. And this is a trend that still persists to this day. LEGO will come out with a completely new system set that maybe includes a few Technic parts, and the community will find any way possible to just jam them into some MacGyver-style new build. And there are some absurdly complex mocks and iterations of classic characters out there. My body has replaced itself at least like 3 times since I first opened Maku in the McDonald's drive-thru, and while not everything I have has truly stood the test of time, namely due to a dog getting a hold of them here or there, I've still held on to every set I could. I have literal containers worth of plump, chunky Bionicle guts, and have put together more mocks than I actually have room to display. Just googling Bionicle mock will get you millions of results of some of the most outlandish building techniques that you've ever seen. And a few of them have even been lucky enough to have their builds actually canonized within the franchise, via contests held by the remainders of the original story group, and some of the larger names within the community.
Why is he an OC?
And as far as I've seen, it's been nothing but friendly competition for as far as the eye can see. They'll very subtly try to outdo one another, all while still gladly complimenting and trading secrets of their black magic. Though the original molds have been long destroyed by now, LEGO is still, knowingly or not, providing some measure of fuel for the mock community. Though it honestly is just a testament to the strength of the community itself that it has remained this strong 12 years post-cancellation of the franchise. Though I won't do it here, I will post a few mock showcases of my stuff in the future, so look forward to that if you care. Moving on. Now I know we all absolutely flip when LEGO references Bionicle in any official capacity, but at this point it's more or less boiled down to an occasional friendly jab at us. We're probably not going to get Bionicle back. Nor are we gonna get any kind of worthwhile celebration set either. At least not without it having some ridiculous gift with purchase set rules or something like that. And while that factor can kind of put a damper in your mood, we do have plenty of fan works from which to get a fix from. These projects are a labor of love and they are still going quite strong. Though their YouTube channel hasn't posted any official announcement in the past 2 years or so, please feed me soon, Quest for Matanui by Craney Creations appears to be a functional game made by some exceedingly talented fans as a passion project. I would honestly ask what rock you've been living under if you haven't heard of this project before, but just in case you haven't, I'll link it in the description below. It promises to put you in the shoes of the original 6 Toa, and allows you to explore some of the key locations on the island of Matanui. Before it was stripped bare by the Borok hordes. Though it's only a taste, they've actually released a few of the tracks that they're going to feature in the game. And I think I can speak for most when I say that these tracks kind of ooze the personality that got us into the franchise in the first place. There is also Bionicle Masks of Power by Team Konohi, but that game hasn't gotten enough. Oh shit!
Ladies and gentlemen, that sensation you got right there, that's called an organism.
And if that singer's voice sounds familiar, that's because it should. That is Christine from Cryoshell. Yes, that is correct. The band is still going strong even 12 years after the franchise's cancellation. This particular song, which I will link, was recently uploaded too. It's a collab between them and a smaller creator named Essinger. It is an absolute banger, and you should definitely go listen to it right now if you haven't. Man, just listening to this is like watching a hero rise from the ashes. It's very nostalgic. Credit is always due for those who do what they can to keep what they love alive. The Biomedia project aims to preserve every bit of official Bionicle content. Anything you can think of that was officially affiliated with Bionicle and the LEGO Group can be found on this site. Everything like marketing from posters to box art, and even movies and games can be downloaded here. Yeah, those adorable little promo CDs that would come in random canisters, you can download them and experience 5 minutes worth of content for over 2 hours like I did. You can also download and play the Matanui online game from way back when. Anybody remember that? That is a rhetorical question. But all this archiving and cataloging can only get you so far if you have no idea just where the hell to start. I mean, Bionicle was a multimedia franchise, and a big one at that. The story couldn't exclusively be found in the books. It was all over the place, really. It was in comics, it was in movies, it was in games, shorts, web serials, blogs? Greg, what is this? But thankfully there are a few lore buffs like Duckbricks on YouTube, who've taken it upon themselves to retell the entire story from beginning to end. Also, speaking of retelling the story, a channel called Noah Productions pulled off the daunting task of meticulously retelling the Voya and Mari Nui arcs, and in every detail. I'll be honest with you, it's...
If Maxilos is no living being, I won't have to hold back.
Did he record this in his mom's closet?
He sounds like he recorded this in his mom's closet.
Not very polished. But it's the best a free fan-made project could do, and the effort is very much worth commending, especially since we're never going to get an underwater movie of the literal best part of the franchise.
That is a fact, and you cannot fight me on it.
Yo, this part's a bit off the cuff here, but I came across this halfway through editing this video, and I had to mention it too. This guy here is revising Bionicle. All of it. All of it, from beginning to end. Go watch his channel. I will link it. Please. Please do. So, I'm gonna call out the elephant in the room. Our community is not the biggest, but what it is very active and very vocal. LEGO has not gone a single month since the franchise's cancellation without somebody somewhere asking them if they have plans to bring it back. There is a very real enthusiasm in the community for the brand and things of a similar nature. Halo fans are not far off from suffering the way we are right now. Among some of the people most excited for the brand's return is probably one of the most wholesome old men on the internet. And no, it's not RPGeebs.
Honorably consumed.
No, but one of the fathers of Bionicle itself, Christian Faber. I cannot begin to articulate to you just how much this man loves Bionicle. He's got a channel that I'll link where he occasionally posts some of the highlights of the marketing back in the day. He helps shed some light on the finer development details of the toy line itself. And anytime something huge happens for the brand or within the community, he is always right there with this big dopey smile on his face, ready to geek out about it with the rest of us. I legit cannot tell you anything more wholesome than just watching this man be nothing but passionate about ancient mystical robots. Chris, if you're watching this, thank you so much for loving Bionicle. Please be my grandpa. Now, I might just be overly obsessed with injection molded plastic toys from 2010, but there's a reason they had such an impact on us. Everything about them, from their designs to the marketing, just spoke of a potentially vast and grand universe that we just wanted to explore more and more. And when we ran out of things to discover, we just started inventing it for ourselves. The Bionicle universe was a place to get lost with your imagination, a place where you could find a corner and carve out your own little section of lore for yourself, and create something that no one had ever seen before, and there is legit nothing like it, and I'm not sure there ever will be again. Thank you so much for watching. If you actually made it to the end, thank you, I really appreciate it. I have this model, but I do not stream at the moment. I plan on starting at some point. But for the future, you could probably just expect a few mock showcases or me talking about anything else that tickles my fancy, not necessarily Bionicle related. Once again, go check out Christian Faber's channel. I'll link it in the description. He is genuinely one of the most wholesome people I've ever seen, and we do not deserve him. That'll be all for now, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Also, there's a VTuber called Numi who sometimes builds Bionicles on stream. Her avatar is... her avatar's nice.